Here is a Lasko 2002 desk fan or personal fan, however you want to classify it. This one is blue. I don't know if it's 2002B. I know the white one is 2002W. I didn't know this was even a thing. It just happened to surface at the thrift store today and I saw one like this for the first time. The informations are here underneath the base. I also have never seen them printed like this before on one of these. It's type 6-1, I think, or 6I or 6L, who knows. Style ECN 310, 0.25 the amps. I almost wonder if this is a prison model, because these are translucent. The whole thing is translucent. A lot of times in prisons, the facilities will sell typical home appliances like television sets, radios, fans, etc. in a clear fashion or some kind of translucent fashion so that inmates cannot hide things underneath the fans. And it's kind of rare that these get out into the wild because they're usually sold directly to government facilities, and most people when they get out of prison are not concerned about taking the fan with them. So they just very seldom make it out. And I don't know if that's what this is. I really have no idea. But that's a potential explanation for this. Or maybe they just come in different colors now and I didn't know. I don't really pay much attention to the modern fan market. So it's very possible that this just went under the radar and I had no idea. This does not have a date code on it. However, the plug is not fused. So I would imagine this is probably something from the early 2000s or older, and in which case it's probably long out of production. So maybe with that, I didn't realize it wasn't a fused plug. So maybe with that in mind, perhaps this is something that was a thing in the 90s and these came in different colors and then they just don't come in different colors anymore. That could be as well. It looks really quite comparable to the one that's still made today, the 2002W. Like it's almost identical. Do I happen to have one of those floating around? I know I own one, but I'm not sure if it's... I thought I saw one in recent times. I would really like to show it side by side with this one if I can find it. Just look over here in the other room right quick and see. I thought I had found one at the thrift store recently, and of course I would get it for whatever psychotic reason. Oh, no, I don't see it. Okay, never mind. I thought I had one floating around here somewhere out in the open, but I don't see it anymore. Okay, I'm not going to waste any more time in the video on that. But it looks to me, from what I can recall, pretty much to be exactly the same as a... I'm going to show something else just to add some interest here. I have an actual prison fan here. This is one of them. This is a Massey branded unit. And the point of this was, if something was hidden, some kind of contraband was hidden underneath the fan, and an officer came and did the inspection, you would see it. And that's why these were kind of a clear color in prison. Anyways, so I'm guessing this is probably an older model then. Very interesting stuff. It's got the same kind of switches on the newer ones and everything. Same handle. I think the blade's a little more transparent than on the newer ones, but maybe that's just because it's a different color, or maybe because that's how these were designed back then. I don't know. Even still has that thing in the front for putting loose change or paper clips or whatever it is that you wanted to put in there. Oh, duh. It's got the older Lasko flag logo as well. So between that and the plug, this absolutely is an older model. So I'm guessing, with all this new information in mind that I really should have thought of before making the video, I'm guessing all this is just an older model that's long discontinued. And maybe these came in multiple colors back then, I don't know. One of the things that Lasko is notorious for is keeping same models on the market for an extended period of time, making minor changes. So it's no surprise to me that this is still on the market today, but just in a different color. So I need to refresh my memory of the power rating. 0.25 the amps. So we're going to test at 120.1 the volts, 120 volts, the volts on the nose, 0.1, 0.2, whatever. Let's check it out on low. Very quiet. I keep forgetting we don't have to aim the fan away from the camera anymore. Although, I kind of like to show it on the side anyways. It's a little kind of better angle, I think. Oh, we can show both now. And if you like wind noise, actually there probably still wasn't much wind noise because the wind screens work pretty good on these microphones. Very, very quiet fan. I think that these are probably among the best desk or personal fans you can get. These are extremely quiet. The only thing I can think of that would be quieter than this, maybe, and I should do a side-by-side comparison, is that Pelinus one that we all discovered this year with the ball bearings. That one might be a little bit quieter than this, perhaps, or at least it might move more air, so it's quieter for the ear moved. But this is, I mean, this is nearly inaudible, and it's not a slouch either in terms of performance. It's moving a nice steady breeze, and I can feel it quite a ways across the room. I can feel it a good 8 feet back, only on low. The air travels very well from this fan, which is an important characteristic. I like a gentle breeze, so a fan that's, you know, blasting powerful up front but the air fizzles away quick doesn't appeal to me as much as one that makes a gentle breeze that carries a long distance. Okay, the power information is 0.14 the amps of current and 14.2 the watts of power and 0.81 power factor, which is actually really quite good for a shaded pole motor. These use, if it's like the newer ones, these use a 2-pole shaded pole motor. And really anything above like 0.75 power factor for shaded pole is pretty respectable. So it's a decent motor, and it seems to have decent bearings, and it seems to ship with a reasonable amount of lubrication, which is one of the few things I'll give Lasko today. Even though their blades are a balanced freak show disaster, most of Lasko's fans still seem to ship with a satisfactory amount of lubrication. Alright, now we'll move up to the high speed, or number 2. There's a touch of dry bearing rattle there. This is probably 20 plus years old, and it's probably never been oiled, so that's not inexcusable by any means. Move that microphone back a little bit. On high, that is 0.19 the amps and about 19 the watts with a power factor of 0.81. So that's not a bad amount of power consumption for the amount of air that this is producing at all. And on high speed, I can feel quite a bit of air, especially for a little 6-inch fan, all the way across the room. These are just excellent fans. They really are. I'm going to take this microphone and move it back a little bit. Very, very quiet. This, even on high speed, is well below conversation volume. And keep in mind the microphone is 10 inches from the fan. It's picking up way more noise than you would typically hear. From across the room, it's almost inaudible. Really a great fan. I really like these. And this is kind of an interesting color. I wonder how many other colors these came in. And we'll cut it off. Not bad. Pretty reasonable spin down, all things considered. Let's see how the balance is. I forgot to check the balance. It's not great. I've definitely seen much worse from Lasko, especially in recent times. But I can feel some vibration. I'd probably try to balance it a little bit. Might take that noise out of there. Well, very interesting piece. And if anybody knows exactly how old this is, I assume that this has to be very early 2000s at most. Let me know, or if these came in different colors. I'm very curious to know now how many colors these were offered in.